What is up, YouTube? I'm Dominic from TCG YuGiOh, and I'm going to show you my Blue Eyes deck. We're going to start with 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 3 Blue Eyes Alternatives. Love their effects. 3 White Stone of Ancients. Love this card. It's a great way to get Blue Eyes onto the field and back from the graveyard to your hand. 2 Dragon Spirit of White. Great way to get rid of opponent's spell and trap cards because it banishes them. And this card is always treated as a normal monster. No, not always. When it is in the hand or graveyard, it is treated as a normal monster, which helps a lot with this deck. 2 Master with Eyes of Blue. When it's normal summoned, you can get a tuner from your graveyard to your hand, and you can shuffle this card from your graveyard back into your deck, and special summon a Blue Eyes from your graveyard. 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. It's just great for getting rid of cards when they activate their effects. It doesn't negate the effect, but it does prevent them from activating it in the future. 2 Effect Veiler. This card is great. Just gets basically just negates a monster's effect for a turn, which helps a lot. 1 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Don't really use this card much, but it does help out sometimes because it can bring back a Blue Eyes from hand, deck, or graveyard when it's targeted for an attack or targeted by spell or trap, and it's a level 1 tuner. 1 White Stone of Legend, which is just a good way to search for Blue Eyes. 3 Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Great way to set up combos for Blue Eyes. 3 Twin Twisters. Love this card. Gets rid of opponent's spell and trap. Super easy. 2 Dragon Shrine. Great way to send cards to the graveyard. You can send stones to special summon Blue Eyes, or search one from your deck. And it's a great way to get cards into your graveyard because this deck revolves a lot around that. 2 Trade-In. Great way to draw into better cards. You always have a level 8 monster in your hand. 2 Return of the Dragon Lords. This card is fantastic. I cannot stress this enough. You can basically I use it to special summon any kind of Blue Eyes in my graveyard. And you can banish this card from your graveyard and protect all of the dragons you currently control from being destroyed by card effects or battle. So it's such a great card to have. 2 Silver's Cry, just to get Blue Eyes back from the graveyard, or Dragon Spirit of White and use its effect again. I run 1 Swords of Concealing Light. It's a great card. Not a lot of people, I don't see a lot of people use this card, and they really should. All monsters your opponent currently controls get changed to face down defense position, so if they have a high attack and a low defense, it's really easy to run them over, and it stops their effects from being able to activate because they're face down. The only bad thing is it does destroy itself after the second standby phase after it's activated, but it's still a great card to use. Cards of Consonance, just a good way to draw into more cards. Soul Charge. I said this deck revolves a lot around getting cards into the graveyard, and this is why. Soul Charge is great. It just brings back as many monsters as you can pay life points for. An amazing card. 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. It really helps to mess your opponent up when you know they're stuck and can't really do anything. You can return cards they already control to the top of their deck, so the next turn, they're drawing into the cards they already had and can't use. 1 Magic Jammer. I just use this for, if they have a spell card I know is really going to affect how the game is being played. If I have this set, I can negate it and everything is fine. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. A lot of people play this card. Easy way to banish a high-powered monster. And the last card of my main deck is Solemn Warning. It just basically can negate anything that can happen. It's a great card. Now, for my extra deck, we got Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon. Very expensive card. This card is amazing. During either player's turn, when a monster's effect is activated, you can negate it, destroy the monster, and if you do, this card gains that monster's attack. And not only that, but if this card battles a level 5 or higher monster, during the damage calculation, you gain that monster's attack. And the card's insane. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. The only way I can even summon this card is with Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, but it has a really good effect if my opponent already has a special summon monster. When I do that, I can get rid of it and then use this and a tuner monster to get Crystal Wing. So it is a very helpful card. I use Star Eater. It's just a relatively powerful card that can't really be affected until the end of the damage step. You can't negate its when it's summoned. You cannot negate it. 2 Azure-Eyes, a great way to protect your dragons for pretty much like that rest of your turn and your opponent's turn. But you can also bring back 1 normal monster from your graveyard, 1 normal dragon type, and that works obviously with Blue-Eyes White Dragon and Dragon Spirit of White as well. 2 Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon, love this card. Basically stops pendulums from happening. You contribute this to special summon a light dragon type monster from your extra deck, other than this card, so Black Rose Moonlight. And if a monster or card effect is activated in the graveyard, you can negate it and destroy it. Galaxy-Eyes Full Armor Photon. Its first effect I really don't ever use, but I use it. You detach 1 XYZ material from this card, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, and destroy it. I also have this card for Galaxy-Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. These two play together extremely well. Play out Galaxy-Eyes, use its effect, and then pull out this one, and it can attack monsters twice during the battle phase. I don't really use its other effect much either. And now for my side deck, I use 2 Forbidden Chalice. You can target 1 monster on the field. Until the end of that turn, it gains 400 attack, but its effects are negated. Good way to stop effects. Kind of like an effect veiler, but it gives it 400 attack, which sometimes sucks. Upstart Goblin, good way to draw into cards. Magical Spring, depending on how your opponent is playing with spell and trap cards, if they're using quite a bit of them, it's a great card to use. 3 Neo Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This card is amazing. It kind of works kind of like a return when it's in the graveyard. And you can, if this is the only card you control, you can send another Blue-Eyes Fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and you can do that twice per turn. And for that reason, I also have 2 Blue-Eyes Ultimate Dragons. No other reason to really play those anymore, except for that card. 1 Dark Hole, obvious reasons. 2 Polymerizations for the Neos. 1 Raigeki, obvious reasons. And 2 Mirror Force, for obvious reasons as well. Well guys, that's it for this deck profile. My card list will be in the description below. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know some deck profiles you would like to see, what kind of matches you would like to see between what kind of 2 decks, and I will make that happen. See you next time on TCG Yu-Gi-Oh!